Hey guys, welcome. This is Brad Krantz. Thanks for joining me here today, Wednesday, January 6th, the first tips for success of this year. Appreciate you being here. What do you want from 2021? Okay, came across a great uh, quote this week, and it was talked about, you have to realize that 2021 won't magically be your best year ever unless you got to do certain things. 5 things, and I'm going to talk about those. But I'm going to assume number one, just to back up, that you have goals, right? You've got a goal or vision, because if you don't have a goal or vision, none of this is really going to make a lot of success or sense. And I wanted to really just kind of share from my heart here and talk about these points here. Number one is taking ownership for your actions. I think part of that is, as an adult, you need to take responsibility, but certainly as a leader, which I am, you realize leaders, and I'll see dial it in even further, servant leaders, um, take responsibility for their actions, right? The buck stops here, right? So taking ownership for your actions, if something doesn't work, hey, it's not somebody else's fault, the government's fault, their fault, her fault, whatever. You've got to take ownership on it. And if it goes right, take ownership for that too. But you've really got to take ownership, because otherwise we end up playing the blame game. And we've all done that. I've done that. I wasn't able to do it because of this, or they did this, or she said that, or something. You've got to really take ownership for your actions, so that it comes down to me, my success or failure, aside from my faith, having goals and all that, but I have to take ownership for my actions. Did I do everything I could? If I didn't, again, I need to own up to it. So I think that's really big to realize. And then two, you've got to change your habits to support your growth, right? If I don't care if you've got a New Year's resolution to lose weight, whatever, we'll take that as an example, but it's going to probably entail you're going to have to eat differently, right? You're not going to have to snack. You're going to have to maybe cut back or eliminate certain foods from your diet. It's the same true as if you're going to pursue a business venture like I'm involved in. You're going to have to change your habits. You're going to have to do stuff every day, right? If you don't change your habits, nothing's going to change. Again, if you want to lose weight, but you want to keep eating what you're doing, you don't get exercise, it's not going to work for you, right? And really, habits come down. Really, our success, you've heard this said before, and I like this, our success comes down to our daily habits. What do you do day in and day out, even when nobody's looking, or even when you don't feel like doing it? That's what's really key. So you've got to change your habits to support your growth, right? No matter what it is. But again, if you don't change, again, I've heard this said too, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So if you want change, you've got to change certain habits. Again, if you want to read 30 books a year, that's my goal this year. I've got to actually be reading books. I can't not read books and say, gosh, I didn't make my goal. That goes back to number one. I got to take ownership for my actions, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Third, this is kind of gets personal. Make health and happiness a priority. Well, health, guys, I'm 60 years old, diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer back in 2018. I had to make some changes there to my health. I've met with new naturopaths. I work with a clinical nutritionist. I've even met with an herbalist to really kind of tweak and change things to optimize my health. And guess what? I also exercise on a regular basis. I eat pretty good. I need to tighten that up a little bit too. Again, that is an area of mine that needs to be disciplined. But health is important, right? Without anything we'd say aside from spiritual foundations and belief in God, your health really is everything. If you don't have your health, it's going to be pretty hard to do anything else. Having happiness is a priority. I like what Gary Vaynerchuk says here, and I want to share this. I think a lot of times in America with business and entrepreneurship, everything's about making X amount of money, having X amount of possessions, but we overlook, are you happy, guys? Hey, if you're happy making 50,000 a year, good for you. If you're happy making 100,000 a year, great. If you're happy making $1 million a year, great. But sometimes our pursuit for the material, we're not happy. How many of us know people that make a lot of money, or even billionaires, and they're not happy? So guys, I want to just say, let's focus on our happiness this year too. If what your small business from home is doing great and you're happy with it, guys, I think that's success. So I think there's a lot of wisdom in what he says there. Fourth is learn to say no and develop boundaries. Okay, this is a quote Warren Buffett says. It's one of his, I think, top 10 lists of things you need to do. You need to say no, right? There's a lot of people, offers, deals, everything out there, people that want to take your time. And as a business person, I've had to learn to say no, especially when they're spams or people are DMing me with their deals. But you've got to learn to say no. Otherwise, your time will be occupied by others, And again, again, this goes back to number 2, changing your habits. You got to be able to focus too, but you've got to learn to say no. Things that aren't part of my goals, aren't going to get me in the direction I want to go. I have to learn to say no. And it's okay to do that. But that's part of being a business person too. And being an adult, say no when you don't want to do something. Don't say, well, let me think about it, I'll do it. No, it's not part of what I'm going to do. So don't go that direction. Developing boundaries, I think you just need to know, don't let people push you around. I said we use the term bullying now. I don't necessarily like that, but there's a whole lot of stuff on developing boundaries. I have boundaries on people on social media that, I check them out on their profiles before I friend them or make connections with them. But if their direction is going to go, they're trying to pitch me or something, or want me to get in their deal or whatever, I've got boundaries, and I have no problem with 1, ignoring them, or 2, blocking them or deleting them. Because again, I'm saying, no, I'm not interested in that. I need to set boundaries. But I think along with that is, don't take criticism from people you wouldn't go to for advice, right? We're going to have our naysayers right now. If they're part of it's, don't try to just get likes, but if somebody doesn't like your post, don't like your video, whatever, don't take criticism. You got to learn to kind of say, I don't care what other people think. I'm not saying that in an arrogant way, but learn to realize, hey, I'm focused on what I need to do. Brad Krantz, I'm sure myself, I like myself. I know what I need to do. And I'm not going to listen to criticism from people, one, that don't have the lifestyle that I have, that aren't doing or moving in the direction that I am. And so don't take advice or criticism from people that you wouldn't go to and seek their counsel. Okay. And 5th, this is really important, guys. And I've known this for probably 25, 30 years almost, is surround yourself with positive people, right? There's so much negative out there right now, right? What's happened in the US politically, economically, around the world, just day to day, social media gets hit with all the negative and stuff, guys. I guess you can find positive in everything if you're looking for it, but get around people that are positive and uplifting. I've been very blessed to, as part of the 3LE team, to get around people on the team, from Calvin Becerra to Adam and Ashley Reeker, to other teammates. I'm not going to mention them all because I might forget somebody, but just get around positive people. We need that positive association. I've heard it said, and this is so wise, that, if your top 5 friends are negative, guess what? You're going to be number 6. Don't be number 6. So get around positive people, because they usually have their life pretty well together. They're getting it together. They know where they're going. They know why they're going there, and they're going to uplift and inspire you. And again, as part of being a leader, is I want to uplift and empower people to do what they need to do to move ahead in their life, to achieve their goals, and that too. And you can't do that by being around negative people. Again, life's too short, right? If there's somebody's being negative to you on Facebook or Getter, whatever, go back to number 4, learn to say no. Unfollow them, unfriend them if you have to, delete them if you need to. Just don't put up with it. So that's some of my advice for today on what do you want to do for 2021. I hope you have your goals. And again, I hope these 5 points have been helpful to an extent, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in today for my Wednesday tips for success. Have an awesome day. Okay.